There are moments when your house feels different, not haunted, not empty, but watched, protected. You walk into a room and suddenly feel peace for no reason. You survive something that should have destroyed you. You hear a warning in your spirit before danger appears. Most people ignore these moments, but the Bible says angels are real, not symbols, not imagination. They are assigned by God, and sometimes they are closer than you think. Tonight we are exposing 5 hidden signs that angels may already be in your house. Watch carefully, because one of these signs may already be happening to you. Number 1, unexplainable peace in the house. One of the first signs angels are present is supernatural peace, not normal peace, a peace that makes no sense during chaos. The Bible says in Psalm 34:7, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and he delivers them." Notice the word encamps. That means angels don't just visit. Sometimes they stay around a person, around a family, around a house. Have you ever entered your room after crying and suddenly felt calm? Nothing changed physically. The bills are still there, the problems still exist, yet your spirit becomes still. That is not always emotional. Sometimes heaven entered the room. In 2 Kings chapter 6, Elisha's servant panicked because enemy armies surrounded them. But Elisha prayed, "Lord, open his eyes." And suddenly the servant saw chariots of fire, angelic armies surrounding them. The protection was already there, the servant just couldn't see it. Many believers are like that servant today. They think they are alone, but heaven has surrounded them. Some houses carry confusion, some carry darkness. But some houses carry divine peace, and demons hate that atmosphere. Have you noticed people entering your home and saying, "Your house feels different"? That could be more spiritual than you realize. Angels carry the presence of God. And where God's presence rests, peace follows, not fear, not torment, peace. Number 2, you keep escaping danger miraculously. Have you ever almost died? A car accident that should have killed you, a sickness that doctors couldn't explain, a delayed trip that later saved your life, and somehow you survived. The Bible says in Hebrews 1:14, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" Sent to serve. That means angels are active around God's people. In Acts chapter 12, Peter was locked inside prison, chains on his hands, guards surrounding him. No human escape possible, but during the night, an angel entered the prison. The chains fell off by themselves. The prison doors opened automatically. Peter thought he was dreaming, but heaven was rescuing him. Some of you watching this have similar stories. You were protected in ways you never understood. Maybe you missed a flight, maybe you changed your route at the last second, maybe you felt a strange warning in your spirit, and later, disaster happened there. That wasn't luck. The spiritual world is more active than people think. Psalm 91 says, "For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways." Notice that, charge over you. That means assignments, protection, intervention. Some people should already be dead, but angels stood between them and destruction. And maybe that includes you. Number 3, spiritual warnings before something happens. One hidden sign angels may be around you is spiritual warning. God often sends warnings before danger arrives, and many times angels are involved. In Matthew chapter 2, an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and warned him, "Take the child and flee to Egypt." Why? Because Herod planned to kill Jesus. Imagine if Joseph ignored that warning. One dream saved a destiny. Now listen carefully. Not every warning is loud. Sometimes it's a deep feeling. A sudden discomfort, a strange urge not to go somewhere, a burden in prayer for someone. Your spirit becomes restless for no visible reason. The modern world calls it intuition, but spiritually, it may be discernment. There are believers who prayed suddenly at night for a family member, and later discovered danger happened at that exact moment. There are people who felt strongly delayed from leaving home, only to later discover an accident occurred on the road they would have taken. God still warns his people, and angels still carry assignments from heaven. In the book of Daniel, angels carried messages between heaven and earth. The spiritual realm is active every single day, even when humans cannot see it. That uneasy feeling you ignored might have been heaven trying to protect you. Number 4, dark spiritual atmospheres leave your house after prayer. One powerful sign of angelic activity is when darkness suddenly lifts after prayer and worship. Before prayer, the house feels heavy. Confusion, fear, nightmares, constant tension. But after worship, something changes. The atmosphere becomes lighter because angels respond to God's presence. In Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas worshipped God inside prison. And suddenly the earth shook, chains broke, doors opened, heaven responded to worship. Many people underestimate what happens spiritually during prayer. When believers worship sincerely, heaven moves and darkness retreats. The Bible repeatedly shows angels involved where God's glory appears. In Isaiah chapter 6, angels surrounded the throne crying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord." Angels are drawn to God's holiness. That's why some houses feel spiritually alive after prayer. you may notice demonic nightmares stop, fear disappears, family arguments reduce. Your mind becomes clear during worship. That is not coincidence. The spiritual atmosphere changed. Remember this, demons bring oppression, but angels bring order, peace, and protection under God's authority. Some people decorate their homes beautifully, but spiritually their house is dead. Others have simple homes, yet heaven rests there, because God's presence is greater than luxury. Number 5, you feel pushed closer to God constantly. The greatest sign angels may be around your life is not supernatural experiences. It is spiritual transformation. You suddenly desire prayer more, you hunger for holiness, you feel convicted about sin. Your spirit starts pulling away from darkness. Why? Because angels operate around God's will. In the Bible, angels constantly directed people toward obedience. When Cornelius prayed sincerely in Acts chapter 10, an angel appeared and guided him closer to God's purpose. Angels don't glorify themselves, they point people toward God. That means if your house is becoming a place of prayer, a place where worship increases, a place where people encounter peace, heaven may already be active there. The enemy wants people distracted, spiritually numb, addicted to noise. But angels are connected to divine order. Some of you watching this have changed recently. You no longer enjoy the darkness you once loved. You feel God calling you higher. That is spiritual awakening, and heaven celebrates it. Jesus said there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Think about that. Angels rejoice when souls return to God, because heaven is deeply involved in human lives. The truth is most angelic activity goes unnoticed, because angels were never meant to replace God. They are servants of His kingdom, protectors, messengers, warriors, and while many chase signs and supernatural experiences, the greatest protection comes from walking with God Himself. Because without God's presence, a house is just walls, but with God's presence, even angels stand guard. Tonight, pray over your house, pray over your room, pray over your family. Invite God's presence into every corner of your life. Because darkness cannot remain where heaven dwells, and maybe you are more protected than you realize. If this video touched your spirit, subscribe to the channel and comment, "Heaven is watching over me," because someone watching tonight needed this message more than they know.